Lesson 74, Simplifying Square Roots. When we simplify square roots, we can take out groups of 2. Let me give you an example, one that you already know. The square root of 36, you know, is equal to 6. You can write the square root of 36 as a square root of a product of the prime numbers that equal 36. You can find those prime numbers by doing a factor tree. So 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Because it's a square root, you can take groups of 2. So the 2, there's a group of 2 2's that can come outside, and the 3 has a group of 2. So our answer, the square root of 36, is 2 times 3, or 6. We have what's called the product property of square roots. That just says that if you have the square root of a product, that's equal to the square root, or the product of the square root of each factor. So the key is to factor out perfect squares. And hopefully you know the perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and so on. Here's some examples where we can factor out perfect squares. The square root of 12, we could write that as the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. 4 is a perfect square, and the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of 12 simplified is 2 root 3. Here's one, the square root of 18. We could write that as the square root of 9 times the square root of 2, which is 3 square roots of 2. The square root of 9 is 3, so the 3 comes out and we have the root 2 that stays on the inside. Square root of 600, we could write that as the square root of 6 times the square root of 100. 100 is a perfect square. The square root of 100 is 10, square root 6. Notice that we put the whole number on the outside, on the left side of the square root sign. Now what if you're asked to simplify the square root of 160? Well, we can do a factor tree and get our prime factors for 160. 16 is 2 times 8, 10 is 2 times 5, 8 is 4 times 2, and 4 is 2 times 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So the square root of 160 is 5 2's and a 5. So our perfect squares are 4 and 4. So we have the square root of 4 times the square root of 4 times the square root of 10. So that would be 2 times 2 is 4 square roots of 10. So the square root of 160 simplifies to 4 square roots of 10. And that's the end of the lesson.